The human body is an incredibly complex machine, and just like any machine, it needs sensors to function properly. These sensors are called sensory receptors, and they are specialized cells that can detect changes in the environment around them. They then send this information to the brain, which interprets it and allows us to respond. Here are some of the main types of sensors in the human body and where they can be found. 1. Mechanoreceptors. These sensors detect touch, pressure, and vibration. They are located all over the skin, as well as in the muscles, joints, and inner ear. Touch receptors. There are 4 main types of touch receptors: Meissner corpuscles, light touch, Pacinian corpuscles, deep pressure, Merkel cells, continuous touch, and Ruffini endings, skin stretch. Pressure receptors. These receptors are located deeper in the skin and muscles, and they help us to sense our body position and movement. Vibration receptors. These receptors are located in the muscles and tendons, and they help us to maintain balance and coordination. 2. Thermoreceptors. These sensors detect changes in temperature. They are located all over the skin, as well as in the hypothalamus, a part of the brain that regulates body temperature. Warm receptors. These receptors are activated by warm temperatures and send signals to the brain that tell us it's time to sweat and cool down. Cold receptors. These receptors are activated by cold temperatures and send signals to the brain that tell us it's time to shiver and generate heat. 3. Chemoreceptors. These sensors detect chemicals in the environment, such as taste and smell. They are located in the tongue, nose, and throat. Taste receptors. These receptors are located on the taste buds on the tongue. There are 5 basic tastes that humans can detect: sweet, sour, salty, bitter, and umami, savory. Smell receptors. These receptors are located in the olfactory epithelium in the nose. There are millions of different smell receptors, which allows us to detect a wide range of smells. 4. Photoreceptors. These sensors detect light. They are located in the retina of the eye. Rods. These receptors are responsible for night vision and detecting changes in light intensity. Cones. These receptors are responsible for color vision and seeing fine details. 5. Proprioceptors. These sensors detect the position and movement of our body parts. They are located in the muscles, joints, and inner ear. Muscle spindles. These receptors are located in the muscles, and they tell the brain about the length and tension of the muscles. Joint capsules. These receptors are located in the capsules around the joints, and they tell the brain about the position of the joints. Vestibular system. This system is located in the inner ear, and it helps us to maintain balance and coordination. These are just a few of the many sensors that are present in the human body. Each sensor plays an important role in helping us to interact with the world around us and maintain our health. Mechanoreceptors, touch receptors, skin, detect touch, pressure, and vibration. Proprioceptors, muscles, joints, and tendons, sense body position and movement. Baroreceptors, blood vessels, heart, and lungs, detect changes in blood pressure and volume. Thermoreceptors, warm receptors, skin, detect warmth. Cold receptors, skin, detect cold. Nociceptors, skin, muscles, and organs, detect pain. Chemoreceptors, taste receptors, tongue, detect taste. Smell receptors, nose, detect smell. Carbon dioxide receptors, brain and blood vessels, detect changes in carbon dioxide levels. Blood glucose receptors, pancreas, detect changes in blood glucose levels. Photoreceptors, retina of the eyes, detect light. Vestibular receptors, inner ear, detect head position and movement. Lymphoid receptors, lymph nodes and spleen, detect pathogens and immune system activity. Hormone sensors, various organs, detect hormone levels. Additional sensors present in specific parts of the body, heart, atria stretch receptors, detect changes in atrial pressure. Ventricular stretch receptors, detect changes in ventricular pressure. Lungs, J receptors, detect airway stretch. Herring-Brewer receptors, detect lung inflation. Stomach, mechanoreceptors, detect stomach distension. Chemoreceptors, detect changes in stomach pH and nutrient content. Intestines, mechanoreceptors, detect intestinal distension. Chemoreceptors, detect changes in intestinal pH and nutrient content. Bladder, mechanoreceptors, detect bladder distension. Chemoreceptors, detect changes in urine composition.